Hey everybody, in today's video we're going to take a look at my latest purchase. This is the HiBird smart bird feeder from the company Camojojo. I hope I'm saying that correctly. As with all my purchases, I like doing these unboxings in case there's somebody else out there thinking about buying the same item. The packaging is really nice. The box is actually really nice. It's just kind of big. So I went ahead and took everything out of the box just to make it a little bit easier for me to film it. Let's look at everything we get. Talk about the feeder a little bit, then I'm going to put it together. We're going to put it out, and we're going to check out some bird footage. So you get an antenna to basically send the signal to your smartphone and your Wi-Fi so that you can retrieve your images. They give you some mounting screws, a template for mounting the camera. You get a charging cable. One of the negatives about this camera is that it doesn't have a solar panel, but we're going to talk about that here in a second. You have a USB Type-C charging cable. I knew that when I bought the camera, but I wasn't too worried. I'm going to show you another camera I've got that does have a solar panel, and I'll tell you why I went with this one. Instruction manual. They give you this little sticker. I don't know if they send the same one to everybody, but I ended up with a Northern Cardinal sticker. So if you buy this camera and you get a different sticker, I hope you'll comment on the video and let me know what bird you ended up getting. They give you a 32 gigabyte micro SD card, which I thought was a nice add-on. First smart feeder I've ever had that they give you a micro SD card. I'm going to be using the app to hopefully pull all of my images, but in the event that you'd rather pull a memory card, you can do that. This is going to be your mounting bracket, so this is going to go up against a tree or a bird feeder pole, and then you basically use the screw at the bottom to connect the feeder to the mounting bracket. Couple different pieces for the feeder. Obviously you've got your roof. Plastic roofing is nice and large. I'll show you that here in a second. We've got our feeder tray, and then we have the housing for the camera. What I like about the feeder tray that they did here is you can adjust the perch any way you want to. So if you want to leave it like that where there's really not a perching area, you can, or you can slide this out and you can stop it at any point to allow for as big or small of a perching area as you want. The other thing I like that they did is you can take the whole seed tray out for cleaning. And that's one of the big benefits I found of this over some of the other feeders out there on the market. This is a different feeder I've got, totally different company. Here's my feeding tray. When I want to clean it, I have to take the whole feeder down to clean the tray, bring it inside, clean it with water, whatever. You can't take this off unless you just totally take all the screws out and unmount it. Whereas this one's nice. Simply pull the tray out, clean it, slide your tray back in. Give you a quick look at the camera itself. I mentioned that it doesn't have a solar panel. What I like though is using the same other feeder. This one has a solar panel, but unfortunately you have to bring in the camera every now and then and fully charge it with the connection cable, and there's no way to take this camera out. So I have to bring the whole feeder in, plug in my camera to a charging cable, charge it, and then take the whole feeder back out. With the HiBird, if you look at the back here, they have a mounting screw that you simply unscrew, and the camera just sits in a bracket. Simply slide the camera out, bring it in, charge it. When you want to put it back, you've got your bracket. Slide it back in that bracket. Tighten your screw. And you're ready to go. For somebody like me who mounts this to a pole, this is a whole lot easier than what the other brands are doing. So anyway, that's going to be your feeder. Seed's going to go down the side, fall into the tray, and then the birds will come eat from it. Let's put it together. Let's take a look at what it looks like outside, and then we'll take a look at some of the footage from the camera. All right, so I've got my feeder installed on my pole. I wanted to show you the way I installed it. Somebody out there could probably do something more scientific than what I did. I basically went to the hardware store, grabbed a couple clamps, ran it through the back of the feeder, the arm that comes with the feeder, and attached it to my pole. And that's the way I've got it. I also wanted to mention, you don't have to fill up the sides here, the whole inside with seed if you don't want to. For somebody like me, I don't get a ton of birds. I'm planning on just taking the seed tray in, putting a little bit of seed here, letting the birds eat it, clean it, put some more in there. So if you've got a lot of birds, you can open the top, pour it in from the top and fill it up. You can feed as much as you want or as little as you want. This is a different brand's camera, and if you look at the feeder, you'll notice that it is level. So all of the seed kind of ends up in the back here, and you have to drag it to the front. It doesn't flow to the front. What's great about the HiBird is it's actually got a little bit of a slope here on the feed tray. So even when I put the feed in, it all comes to the front. So even if you're feeding it along the sides here, it's always going to kind of funnel, and hopefully it'll prevent some of the seed caking up in the back like the other model cameras do from other companies. All right, so at this point I've got my camera turned on, and all we have to do is basically sit and wait for some birds. I wanted to mention the HiBird app. You can set it up so you get a notification every time your camera gets triggered, and for some of you, you might like that. For me, my phone was going off all day long, so we can turn that feature off. You also don't have to use the HiBird app. You could simply pull the memory card out of the camera, plug it into your computer, see what birds came to your feeder. That's one option, but a feeder like this, I think the main attraction is that you can check your app anywhere in the world, see what's going on at your bird feeder. So let's go into the app. I'm going to show you some of the basics of it. I'm not going to go through the whole thing. When we go in, there's a couple different things you can see at a glance. You can see your Wi-Fi signal strength. You can see I've got a good signal where my feeder is at. You can see that my feeder is online. That little green dot shows that the camera is connected in good status. And I can also see that my battery level is at 98%. Now, there's a couple different things we can do. I could look at my feeder anytime I want to by clicking the live button here in the middle. And that's exactly what is going on at my bird feeder at this moment. Whenever I'm done, I can simply turn that off. There's a couple different things. Maybe you've got a dove or a squirrel that's sitting there on your feeder. You could actually go live and you can press the talk button and you could talk through the camera to try and scare anything off you want to, or maybe you're trying to use this for a security camera. You could use that for the same thing. If we click on the set icon, we can go through all of the different settings. You can change the name of the camera if you want. You can look at your device information. You can change your Wi-Fi. You can change, when the camera gets triggered, do you want a photo and a video? Do you just want videos or do you just want photos? It's one of the different settings you can change. You can adjust your image quality. 32 megapixels is going to be the highest. 3 megapixels will be the lowest. You can change your video quality. This is a 4K camera, but you can go as low as 720p if you wanted to. You can change your video length. So if it is recording video, how long do you want those video files to be? There's some other different things in here, your speaker volume, your PIR delay, how sensitive do you want the camera to be, your LEDs, do you want them on or off? You can do something like auto turn on at nighttime. Working hours is kind of a cool feature. If you only want the camera to be on at nighttime, maybe you're trying to see what predators or if there's any birds going to your feeder at nighttime, you could turn it on just to work at certain times of the day. And then the other times of the day, it would not be operational at all. When you turn this on, it basically is going to open up your time slot so you can adjust the working hours. And then there's some other options down there, status light, your water stamp, so on and so forth. The main thing that you're going to be wanting to see here is how do we see if there's been any captures. If I click on the bottom right icon, we can see per day what's been captured on the bird camera. So you can see yesterday there was a couple different captures, and then we've got some more captures for today. Unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot to show you. It looks like there's just been a tough titmouse at my feeder. You can click, you can see there's the image. I'm doing photo and video, so that's an example of what an image looks like, and then the video. At any point, if I wanted to save that video, I could click the download button at the bottom. You would have to allow access to your camera photos so that it can download the image or video into your photos. Or I can click on the delete icon to delete it. The one negative about this camera that I hope they will look to change is you have to go photo or video one at a time and choose whether or not to delete or download it. There's some other cameras out there that will simply let you go in and grab all of your images and download them all, and then you could sit there on your computer and go through all of your images. You can't do that with the HiBird. You basically have to sit here and go through and say, okay, I want to delete that one. I want to delete this video. I want to delete. And you have to do it picture, video by video. Just to show you. It does not stop recording whenever motion stops. So just like in that case, I just got a quick glimpse of a bird. It's going to keep recording, and then it'll keep playing that video over. So it works really well. I'll say this, out of all of the bird cameras I've ever tried, the clarity is the best on this camera, and the app is really responsive. Even though you can't download all of them, there's no lag with regards to the app. So I can go through all of these video images pretty quickly if I needed to. Anyway, that is a quick look at the HiBird Smart Bird Feeder. If this video helped, I hope you'll think about subscribing to my channel or at least giving me a like on the video. Thanks for watching.